Monumental Moments, where we live to multiply His movement. I'm Melissa Machenbacher, and this is a place we passionately pursue and proclaim Jesus. Today's monumental moment is titled Short Order Cook. Well, she leaned with such exaggeration from behind the sparkling glass food shield, looking around the long line to find me amongst the patrons that was having breakfast at the hotel. She smiled with such joy and enthusiasm while she nodded her head slightly and raised her eyebrows. She had my attention. I could read her lips. "How is it?" With my mouth completely full, I gave her a thumbs up and the hand gesture of a chef's kiss. It was amazing. I had a made-to-order egg white omelet oozing with fresh tomatoes, onions, spinach, and feta cheese. It was huge and was about the size of the plate itself. Before sitting down to enjoy breakfast with a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice made from oranges that had to have been from the Florida trees in the backyard, I had a lovely, unexpected conversation with the chef at the omelet station. I read her name tag displayed on her chef's jacket. Her name was Erie. I learned that she had been working at the hotel for 5 years, serving up amazing breakfast for the guests. I asked her, "How many omelets do you make a day, Erie?" She laughed and assured me that it was a lot. She thought long and hard and said on her busier days, it must be close to 500. That's 500 special order egg dishes that she serves up from behind the beautifully displayed omelet station, or 2,500 omelets a week. That's a great deal of eggs and a lot of time to engage in conversation. There was a large convention that week at the hotel, and hundreds of guests were rushing in to grab breakfast before heading off to hear the keynote speakers. I thanked her for making me what was probably omelet number 497 that morning. We laughed together, and it broke the ice behind her heated cooktop. I asked her how she was doing. With the biggest African smile, she said, "I'm blessed." She went on to tell me about her family and how everyone is doing and how God had blessed her. I said, "You used the word blessed. Tell me more." She went on to share about the Lord and His work in her life. Erie was on more than just a mission to make me breakfast. Though a short order cook, she had a tall order before her. She wanted me to know about her good, loving, gracious, and merciful God. Erie had the joy of the Lord. There was a spring in her step and a pop in her wrist as she flipped the pan in her hand. She was serving the Lord and doing it with such joy. It reminds me of Colossians 3:23 and 24 that says, "Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward." You're serving the Lord Christ. I thought to myself, Erie is working for the Lord. She's an answer to the prayer that Jesus prayed in Matthew 9:37 and 38 when He says, "The harvest is great, but the workers are few." So pray to the Lord who's in charge of the harvest. Ask Him to send more workers into His fields. There is no doubt that that hotel was a field ready for harvest as convention after convention kicked off week after week, and travelers from around the globe landed at this hotel continually to use it as a base camp while visiting the popular local theme parks. Yet with the constant turnover, Erie is there faithfully manning her station every morning, Monday through Friday. Yes, she is working, but working for the Lord simultaneously. She's pointing people to Jesus and sharing about God's love. Erie is serving more than man-made orders of omelets. She's sharing God's love. Jesus did much of the same. It may not be fresh omelets that Jesus was making back in the day, as He was known by others as a carpenter. Mark 6:3 and Matthew 13:55 reference Jesus as a carpenter and a carpenter's son. Though that may have been his trade and what people originally identified him as, he was a skilled craftsman. He was a professional in always pointing others to the Father. Jesus lived His life on mission that others may know the love of the Father. Jesus helped us to see that ministry is not compartmentalized. It's mobile. Ministry goes where you go. Whatever your craft, consider yourself a journeyman, like Jesus. Be on a journey and take your personal God stories with you. Be ready to share what God has done in your life. The Apostle Paul wrote a letter to Timothy. In 2 Timothy 4:2-4, he says, "Preach the word. Be ready in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, and exhort with complete patience and teaching. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. Tell others about Jesus and what he's done for you here, there, and everywhere. There is always a way. If you're filling omelets at an omelet station, fill hearts with stories about Jesus while you wait. If you're a carpenter, build God's kingdom as you work project by project in construction zones. If you're a doctor, pray with patience and point them to the great physician. If you're an educator, look for ways to teach the good news. If you're a sports enthusiast, kick the ball down the field and share about Jesus both on and off the field. How can you be the worker that Jesus prayed for? How can you be the answer to his prayer? Who can you share God's stories with? Surely there's at least 1, if not 500 people a day that you will encounter. Let's go! How can you make monumental moments and live to multiply his movement today?